I don't think anybody's going to argue with me when I say that over-tourism globally is a massive problem, especially in places like Spain, here in Thailand, parts of Tokyo, Mexico. These places have been overrun with tourists. Now, as somebody who works in the tourism sector, and I've been doing this since 2012, I understand how amazing these places are and why everybody wants to go to them. But I think right now, as content creators, we're doing a disservice to our audiences in so many ways. But I think if we take a step back and really look at social media, travel blog, and mainstream travel media, we can track it all back to one simple truth. We are teaching people how to travel to recreate instead of teaching them how to travel to experience. Everybody's running around trying to follow these listicles. They're trying to be me when they go to India. They're trying to be Nomadic Matt when he goes to Germany. They're trying to be Expert Vagabond when he goes to Mexico. Here's the simple truth. You can't be us and you cannot recreate our experiences. So you have to learn how to create your own experience, which is what travel is all about. It's about you learning, growing, and exploring the world in a way that's unique to you and being able to possibly tell that story a little bit later. So what I want to do is I want to give you a few simple tips that you can use to ensure your next trip is special to you. So the very first thing you could do is engage with locals in an authentic way. Now, I used to be an advocate for Airbnbs. That was one of the main ways that I engaged with locals in places that I hadn't been before. But unfortunately, a lot of things have changed with that platform, and I can't necessarily recommend it as much as I used to anymore. But it's still a great way to engage with locals around the world. Stay in small, locally owned hotels. Normally, a lot of locally owned hotels are run by families, especially in places like Spain, Italy, and France. I also found some phenomenal ones in Greece. I'll probably be making a full video on how to find these small locally owned hotels. But if you reach out to the tourism board of your destination, they generally have a list of these places. They love tourists, they love the business coming in, and they generally give you a more authentic local experience. And you might just make a really, really good lifelong friend like I have. Go to local markets. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Learn a little bit of the language, and if you can't learn a little bit of the language, at least take a phrase book or use something simple like your phone. For Google has gone so far beyond in translation than where it was when I first started traveling. That is almost no excuse anymore. So this actually might be one of my favorite travel tips. It's pursue your interests. And that is the biggest thing I can tell you guys. When you're exploring the world, it does not mean you have to stop doing the things that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy cooking, take a local cooking class. I love dancing salsa and bachata. So if I go to a city for more than a week or two, I'm likely going to find out where it is I can do salsa and bachata. The same with jujitsu is I'm going to find a place to train jujitsu. Whatever it is that interests you personally, pursue that in the destination, and you might be surprised. A lot of local communities have some of the same programs that we have back home. They just might do it a little bit different. Obviously, they'll probably do it in whatever the local language is, but some things tend to translate over. This is why BJJ has been such a transformative thing. I've been training jiu-jitsu for well over 20 years now. And for me, it has been one of the best communities of not only just locals and travelers, but also just humans around the world. So kind, so welcoming. It's the same with cuisine. Locals love to share their culture. And I always say there are three things that bind us: food, family, and faith. Those three things are the universal link in most humanity. So if you're Christian, for example, go to a church in a country where you're not from. If you're a chef, learn how to make a local cuisine. If you're a dancer from somewhere else, go to the place where that dance comes from and just learn from the locals. It is a phenomenal way to engage with communities and ensuring that your experience is unique to the things that you enjoy and love to do. It seems simple, but a lot of people don't do this. Travel with a purpose. Why are you going there? What is the reason for you to go to Brazil, to go to London, to go to Tokyo? Why are you going? Are you going because it's something that you've always wanted to do, something you've always wanted to experience, something you always wanted to learn? Or are you going because you've seen it on social media? Or are you going to chase the clout that comes with that as a content creator, for example? Travel with a purpose, volunteer, learn a new skill. Learn about the history of your family. Find the reason that you want to go and explore these places and engage with these communities, and ensure that that's the primary goal of your trip. I cannot tell you how many amazing experiences I've had simply because I was trying to learn something. I went to Cali in Colombia to learn Cali style salsa. I went to Buenos Aires, Argentina to learn how to tango. I trained jiu-jitsu in Santiago, Chile. Like, these things were reasons for my travel, and everything else around it just made the trip that much better. So when you have a focal point, something to identify as your main goal, your main target, everything else just kind of falls in place and ensures that that experience isn't only unique to you, but it's transformative in a way that you cannot quantify. And I believe that that is one of the biggest issues that we're having now, is that people are not traveling with purpose. They're traveling for the cloud, to recreate, and in terms of content creators, to make more money. So for this last one, I brought some visual aids for y'all. Yeah. This is a guide I picked up about gourmet cuisine in South Moravia in Czech. This is one I've picked up when I was in Greece, in Halkidiki, when I was on a trip to Thessaloniki, which is one of my favorite places in the world right now. And this is from one of my favorite publishers, Monocle Guides, on Tokyo. I show y'all that to say that you need to diversify your travel content sources. When you look online, there's just so many same listicles, same destinations, same everything, that people just tend to keep doing the exact same thing over and over. I'd say before COVID, you started to see this with the BuzzFeed. Y'all remember BuzzFeed? Is that still around? You would see these listicles. This is the 25 ultimate things to do in Bangkok. And those things lack context. They lack storytelling. They lack experience. I find that a lot of content creators, and guys, I'm stuttering a little bit here because I don't want to throw shade at any of my colleagues or my friends, but I found a lot of content creators have been forced into a position where we create this very generic content as if every single traveler is the same. We've lost that personalized experience in our creation. When we all first started, I've been doing this since 2011, 2012 timeframe. I was just traveling how I wanted to travel, and I was just showing you guys that. Anybody who wanted to do the same thing or kind of follow behind me, okay, mazel tov, but I wouldn't recommend that because my experience is unique to me. And when you look at content creators, for example, or even authors who write books, you have to understand that they're presenting you content from their perspective. And you have to find out what you want out of your experience and what you want out of your trip. And to do that, you have to diversify who's giving you their information. Migrationology, Mark Wiens is, in my opinion, probably the best food content creator ever. I'm not going to ask Mark about nightlife because Mark doesn't cover nightlife. I don't like beaches. So, and I live in Thailand. So if you ask me, hey, Eric, what's the best beach in Thailand? I'm going to recommend you to somebody else because I'm not that person. And I think also as content creators, we have to be more comfortable with just telling people we don't know every damn thing. When you see a content creator or an author or a presenter who presents themselves as the authority on travel, the end-all be-all of travel experience and knowledges, that probably should be a red flag to you, okay? We don't know everything, and we're just presenting you information from our experience, so you have to diversify your sources of information based on what you look for. All right, guys, so I hope this helped. And I want to say again, this was not meant to be throwing any shade at any of my colleagues or my friends or fellow content creators, but it is my goal to do my best to help combat over-tourism, because as a content creator, as a traveler, as a journalist, I've participated in it to a certain extent, and all we can do is just try to make things better. I want travelers to have better experiences. I want locals to have better experiences with us, and I just want the world to be better than we found it. So, as usual, lead the world better and find it. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below, and I will see you in the next one.